First of all, I really don't know how to thank you enough for the splendid evening for me. Fact is, I'm almost speechless, but absolutely humbled and touched by the presence of so many distinguished anatomists, and also for my family who surprised me with their visit. I'm not sure how I got here, but the following is what I did and what I believe. Some of you know, now you all know, I was rejected for membership in this association some years ago. So how did I get here tonight? I'm not really sure. Well, once upon a time, a marine comparative physiologist with a PhD elected to become an anatomist. Why? No jobs were available in this chosen field, and I understand this now because working with marine worms, and especially in seahorses, cannot excite many department heads. I was very fortunate to receive a postdoctoral March of Dimes Polio Foundation Fellowship in the Royal Caroline Anatomical Institute in Solna, which is a suburb of Stockholm, Sweden, to learn electron microscopy. Because of this training, I was offered a job in Baltimore. It was there that I was immersed, or rather dumped, into the vast field of anatomy. Was I in over my head? You betcha. There was a lot of pain, suffering, and shame from my ignorance and trying to retain my composure when avoiding questions from students. The most humiliating event occurred when I was called to a cadaver by a colleague. I was asked to find the obturator nerve for the students who were clustered around the table. I located the nerve and was then chastised by my colleague, who asked, why? Why did you identify for the students another nerve, telling them it was the obturator? I had no excuses. I was then dismissed and I slowly slithered away. On the positive side, I noticed there were, at times, differences between book and body. So I tried to get answers by visiting our medical library. More than anything else, curiosity led the way. It was very exciting for me to see and hold an original copy of Vesalius' book, and that of Haller, and many more. I was so fascinated that I became known as the library junkie, who had to be told to leave the stacks, often at 2 a.m. Having plowed through all the American and British journals, I gingerly ventured into foreign journals: Polish, German, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Belgian, Austrian, Chinese, Japanese, Mexican, Central and South American, along with a splash of Scandinavian. Happily, the Polish journal was published in English because of American foreign aid. With the German journals, I had to dredge up my memory from college German and my PhD language examination studies. The journals can be read with a little imagination, much determination, and especially with a good little dictionary in hand. Erroneous references are a serious problem in literature searches and become a contest to solve. In general, the Italians are the least accurate, but they make up for it in other ways. They are followed by the French, American, and British, with the most accurate being, no surprise, German authors. Turning to my career as an anatomist, I may have been unfair at times, harshly criticizing some students by saying that a missing part on their cadaver was trashed by their sloppy dissections. Were these missing parts actually variations? I have no way of knowing, but I frequently have discomforting feelings about my errors made in my role as a teacher. Medical students and most of their instructors are a wondrous group who are tireless in their endeavors to become or to produce the finest physicians possible. I am grateful for the part my students played in teaching me anatomy. And as I recall, the classes were not entirely composed of ethnic Italians, but also for their help in the collection of anatomic variations. I finished the review of 884 journals, taking over 40 years to accomplish. And like Forrest Gump, I stopped abruptly. Why? I could not find any additional journals that I could read. Students must be introduced to the importance of knowledge of anatomical variations for medical practice. I firmly believe, with all of our faults and critics, present-day anatomists are on the right path. Maybe not as a mirror image, but our students have been successful in spite of experiments being tried in teaching anatomy to improve its value. Well, it is with deep gratitude and with most sincere thanks for having this special meeting for me in Chicago, for the wonderful honor you have given me, and for the excellent dinner that my family and I shared with you. I will give your eardrums a rest and stop talking with a reminder of a statement by Sir William Osler. Variability is the law of life. And also one more by an unknown author, that variety is the spice of life. It certainly has been for me. I thank you all very much.
So on behalf of the American Association of Clinical Anatomists, we want to present you with our Honored Member Award, the highest award in this association. And I will read you the script. Ronald A. Bergman, PhD, researcher, educator, author, clinical anatomist, for his distinguished career in and enthusiasm for clinically related anatomy and anatomical variability, as demonstrated by his many student-friendly textbooks published in the fields of gross and radiographic anatomy, histology, neuroanatomy, and anatomical variation. Awarded at the 2012 Special Interim AACA Council meeting, Chicago, Illinois, today.
Thank you, ma'am.